Researchers in Manitoba have made an exciting discovery. They have found what appears to be a complete fossilized skeleton of a Mosasaur, the so-called T-Rex of the deep.
A fisherman in Newfoundland has hauled in a tale to tell. You might or might not want to take a look at this. Oh, that thing is there. What's going through your mind?
Researchers in Canada may have stumbled across what they are calling a dinosaur mummy, one of the best preserved fossils ever. And this is part of what they found here.
A newly discovered cave could be the largest in Canada. The 100-meter-long and 60-meter-wide cave is about as deep as a soccer field.
Making surprising discoveries each day, Canadians have turned the word shocking into their new normal. Bizarre animals, prehistoric creatures, and ancient giants. Sit tight for an intriguing ride in the hardly discovered land of Canada that will give you chills. Bigfoot Skull. A group of explorers were exploring a forest when they spotted something that shocked them.
I found a skull, or a bone, or something of some sort right here in...
There was a skull in the mud that looked unusual and didn't seem human. They examined it closely and figured out that it belonged to some kind of Bigfoot-like creature.
I mean, I'm almost afraid to say it, that could be a Sasquatch skull.
Explorers looked around hoping to find other body parts, but they didn't find any and were confused about how something like this could be found here. After the video went viral, people had different opinions. Some said it might be the stuff of a wild animal, not a Bigfoot, while others believed in it because they had seen similar creatures in that area before. World War II bomber plane. In 2012, a group of workers cutting down trees in a forest near the town of Revelstoke in Canada made an incredible discovery. They found the wreckage of a World War II-era plane called a Curtiss P-40 Kitty Hawk. This plane crashed there over 70 years ago during a training flight. The pilot of the plane took off from a nearby airbase in 1942, but never returned. For decades, no one knew what had happened to him or his plane. Then, unexpectedly, the wreckage was found deep in the forest. The discovery was significant because the plane was surprisingly well preserved. Much of its structure, engine parts, and even some of its ammunition were still recognizable. Bear carcass. These friends were passing near a forest when they spotted a bear that was no longer alive. However, when they passed by the same spot 2 days later, they saw it again, but in a creepy condition. Its body had been completely covered in maggots.
No, that's the name of the bug. Maggots?
That were consuming it rapidly. The smell coming from it was so strong that they couldn't even stay nearby.
They're like swimming in juice, man. Disgusting.
They were shocked to see how quickly the maggots could consume a body. They didn't stay there for long and quickly left the area.
They're like swimming in juice, man. Disgusting.
Creepy fish. I'm sure you've never seen a fish like the one I'm about to show you. This strange fish was caught off the coast of Bonavista Bay in the year 2020 and shocked everyone.
Lots of fishermen and nobody ever seen nothing close like it.
It had a long nose and strangely bulging eyes. Gary, the fisherman who captured it, threw it overboard right away. Although he regretted his decision of throwing it, the scientists still managed to identify it. This was a chimera, a deep-sea dweller who is rarely captured, and therefore there is not much known about it. Dinosaur mummy. A group of archaeologists in Canada found something extremely rare in the Badlands of Alberta. They stumbled upon a dinosaur fossil that was amazingly well preserved.
This is a sample of fossilized skin of a hadrosaur or duck-billed dinosaur.
It was like a dinosaur mummy. It was special because it still had some of the dinosaur skin intact.
What does that say about this area when it comes to the number of bones?
Usually when they find such fossils, they are just bones, but this one had skin, which is super rare. The discovery has caused a lot of excitement because it allows scientists to learn more about how they really looked. They can study the texture of the skin and maybe even learn about the color or patterns on this creature's body. UFO landing pad. In St. Paul, Alberta, Canada, there's a strange place called the UFO Landing Pad. It was built in 1967 during Canada's 100th anniversary celebrations. It looks like a big concrete platform with a ramp around it, designed to resemble a landing spot for spaceships. It's become quite popular among tourists and those interested in UFOs. Nearby, there's also a visitor information center that has displays and information about UFOs and space. The idea behind this landing pad was to create something unique for tourists, but some people speculate that the UFO landing pad was part of a secret mission by scientists to communicate with aliens. Creepy tree. In May 2021, an explorer in Newfoundland, Canada, was exploring a forest when he came across a creepy tree. This tree was not normal in any way because its shape resembled that of a human figure, especially the part where its head began, with roots that looked like hair. Its face was also eerie, resembling as if a human had been forcefully attached to it. When he researched the history of this place, he became even more frightened because this area was known to have been used in ancient times for burying people alive within trees as punishment. He did not stay there for long and quickly left the area. Giant Nephilim. Another day, another discovery. This time it was an explorer passing through a rural area spotted a huge bone.
Hueso. Es un hueso.
Although scared, he did a quick examination. The decomposing bone was so big that he wondered if it belonged to a giant Nephilim, like those mentioned in old stories. For those of you who don't know, Nephilim is known as the descendants of fallen angels and demons, held profound significance throughout history. These ancient giants were known for their long heights. They were estimated to be around 450 feet tall, and this was just a bone. So could you imagine how tall they actually were? Bruce the Mosasaur. Bruce the Mosasaur is an ancient marine reptile fossil discovered near the town of Morden in southern Manitoba, Canada. This remarkable specimen lived approximately 80 million years ago during the late Cretaceous period, a time when dinosaurs roamed the earth and marine reptiles dominated the oceans. The fossil of Bruce is one of the most complete and well-preserved mosasaur specimens ever found in Canada, providing researchers with detailed insights into the anatomy and biology of this formidable predator. It was a large reptile adapted for life in the sea, who had a streamlined body, powerful jaws filled with sharp teeth, and strong swimming abilities, and was apex predator of its time. Kiru tulithide octopus. A diver exploring the sea spotted a unique and fascinating creature known as the Carcass octopus.
My
God.
Wow.
Cool. It's beautiful.
It is a remarkable creature from the deep sea, known for its special appearance.
That's fantastic.
I wish we could see the other end.
It has a round body with long, thin arms that sometimes have frilly or feathery structures called Kiru.
It looks very stretched out, very long.
These Kiru make the arms look unique, almost like they have big ears. It is one of many different types of sea creatures that live in the deep ocean, showing how varied and interesting marine life can be. The diver had never seen anything like it before, and this scene became memorable for him. Werewolf captured. In a village, a strange creature was attacking the villagers' animals and causing them harm. They couldn't figure out what it was and were frightened. Some believed it could be a werewolf or a chupacabra, not just a wild animal. One day they found an animal's body near a farm, and people thought this might be the creature responsible for hurting their cattle. However, when the experts examined it, they said it was just a normal wolf. But the people did not believe them and were convinced that it was indeed a werewolf. Forest of Fairies. As evening falls over the fairy forest in Surrey, Canada, it becomes eerie and mysterious. As visitors explore deeper into the woods, they might feel like someone is watching them, even though they can't see anyone behind the trees and bushes. Among the twisted tree branches and mossy rocks, you'll find tiny fairy houses with soft glowing windows. You might also hear faint laughter and playful giggles in the air, even though no one is around, as some people believe that actual fairies used to live here, and perhaps they still do. Hanging deer skull. A man was exploring deep a dense forest, but before going he was warned not to go too far because of unusual activities reported there. He ignored the advice and trekked deeply into the forest. As he was observing different things, he came across something creepy. a skeleton that was hanging in a weird way from a tree. At first he couldn't tell what it was, but upon closer inspection he realized it was a deer skull. He became scared and wondered why it was hanging there, as if someone had placed it there intentionally. He realized something was wrong and decided it was best to quickly retreat and return from where he came. Icy Hotel. In Canada, there are special hotels made entirely of ice and snow. One famous ice hotel is called the Hotel de Glace, located in Quebec City. Every winter, this hotel is built using tons of ice and snow. It is like a frozen castle, with beautiful ice sculptures and intricate designs. Inside, the rooms are made completely of ice, including the beds and furniture. Many people visit the ice hotels to see the amazing ice art and unique atmosphere. Each year, the ice hotel is rebuilt with new designs, making it a fresh and exciting experience for visitors. Mysterious Shipwreck. A mysterious and eerie shipwreck washed up on the coast of Newfoundland, surprising local residents. This area was known for being the final resting place of at least 8 other ships that were lost due to bad weather over the years. The government sent a team to investigate the wreck and hopefully identify and preserve whatever remained of it. From the visuals of the wreck, it appears to be quite old. Wooden dowels used instead of nails suggest that the boat was likely built in the 1800s. Additionally, copper pegs have been spotted in the photographs of the ship, which were a common construction method during that time period. Ancient Village. A team of Canadian PhD students from the University of Victoria made an incredible discovery of a village dating back to before the time of the pyramids. They found this ancient village on Triquet Island, located about 300 miles north of Victoria, British Columbia. During their exploration, the team uncovered ancient fishhooks, spears, and tools used for making fires. The most exciting find was an ancient cooking hearth, where they collected burnt charcoal remains left by prehistoric Canadians. By using carbon dating on the charcoal, the researchers determined that the settlement dates back 14,000 years ago. Researchers believe this settlement suggests a large-scale human migration along the coast of British Columbia in ancient times. 6,000-year-old dart. In 2018, archaeologists found an old throwing dart on an ice patch in Yukon, Canada. Ice patches are areas where ice builds up for many years. As the ice melts due to warmer temperatures, it reveals ancient objects like tools and weapons. This throwing dart is about 6,000 years old and was made by indigenous people who lived in the region long ago.
Helicopter pilot Dion once again walked directly up to this.
They used these darts for hunting, especially to catch caribou and other animals. Finding this dart gives us important information about how early indigenous communities hunted and survived in Yukon.
The most intact throwing dart that has been recovered from the Ice Patch Project.
Ancient totem poles. Totem poles are tall wooden sculptures made by indigenous peoples in Canada, especially in the Pacific Northwest coast. These sculptures are often created from cedar carvings of animals, symbols, figures that have special meanings in indigenous cultures. In their culture, these totem poles are more than just art. They tell stories and preserve cultural history. Each carving on it represents a specific tale, legend, or family story passed down through generations. These carvings might depict mythical creatures, ancestral spirits, or important events from indigenous history. Together, they form a visual record of indigenous traditions and beliefs. Centuries-old shipwreck. A film crew was making a documentary about shipwrecks in the Great Lakes, focusing on Lake Huron in Ontario. While using special equipment to scan the lake's bottom for shipwreck sites, they unexpectedly found the well-preserved remains of an old wooden ship resting on the lakebed. This discovery happened near Thunder Bay, Ontario, an area known for its history of shipwrecks. Experts who examined it believe it likely dates back to the 1800s, based on its design and historical background. It revealed the challenges faced by sailors and ships navigating these waters during the 19th century. Shipwrecks like this one tell important stories about the past and the development of transportation in Canada. Franklin Wreckage. The discovery of the Franklin expedition ships HMS Erebus and HMS Terror was a major breakthrough, achieved after many years of searching. In 2014, the first ship was discovered in Queen Maud of Gulf Canada. Inuit oral history played a key role in guiding the search, as it provided stories about a large iron object in the area. Modern technology such as sonar was then used to pinpoint the wreck's location. The second ship was discovered in 2016 in Terror Bay, further north from where HMS Erebus was found. Similar methods were used to locate it. Both ships were remarkably well preserved, despite spending over 150 years underwater. The discoveries have provided valuable insights into the Franklin expedition and Arctic exploration. Mammoth. In 2021, miners in Yukon, Canada made an extraordinary discovery while working at a gold mining site in the Klondike region. They stumbled upon the mummified remains of a huge mammal when a bulldozer uncovered the carcass. Recognizing the importance of their find, they immediately alerted paleontologists. Researchers later estimated that it was a baby woolly mammoth that had lived over 50,000 years ago during the Ice Age, and it was incredibly well preserved. Its skin, fur, trunk, and some internal organs were intact, providing scientists with a rare and valuable opportunity to study such an ancient creature. Maggots feast. The explorer came to explore wild animals in the forest, but was shocked by a creepy carcass covered in numerous maggots. Upon figuring out what it was and how it got there, the explorer figured out that a group of gar used to gather at a water source. Recently, one of them was attacked by a tiger during the night, and had become a favorite meal for maggots and flies. It was about 5 days old, and he was shocked that in such a short time, they had consumed more than half of the body. Creepy remains. A man was walking near a forest when he heard some scary sounds. He quickly came over there and saw there was a large, creepy carcass lying nearby.
I heard a real loud whoop, so I walked over here.
He examined the carcass closely and found some strands of hair lying over it. This indicated that some creature, possibly a Bigfoot, was near it. Another thing which drew his attention towards Bigfoot was the eerie sounds he heard in the beginning. Although he tried for a while to find out if there was any such creature around here, he couldn't find anything and left quickly. Eye plant. The doll's eyes plant, scientifically known as Acetia pachygoda, or white baneberry, is a unique plant found in parts of Canada, particularly in forested areas. This plant is known for its eye-catching appearance, especially its round, white berries that resemble doll's eyes. It grows in shady woodlands, often in damp and fertile soil. It produces clusters of small white flowers in spring and later in the season. These flowers develop into the distinctive white berries with dark dots. Despite their attractive appearance, these berries are poisonous if eaten, containing substances that can cause stomach upset and other serious reactions. Ancient coin. I always used to wonder how money worked in ancient times, but today I found out. In Newfoundland, a 600-year-old gold coin was unearthed, believed to be the oldest English coin ever found in Canada. Government officials announced the discovery, stating that the coin was minted in London between 1422 and 1427.
It's kind of a big deal to find something as old as this in this part of the world.
Remarkably, the coin was found in excellent condition, appearing as if it had just been minted yesterday. Because gold is a strong metal that doesn't rust or lose its shine easily, this discovery provides valuable historical insights and raises intriguing questions about early interactions between Europe and North America during the 15th century. Ancient statue. If you think women didn't have authority in ancient times, then watch this.
Yep. It's a woman.
A Canadian archaeologist group made a discovery that changed people's understanding of ancient women. They uncovered a giant statue that was 3,000 years old and made of strong stone.
About putting the wood any further down because in case there's eyes.
It appeared to depict a queen adorned with a ringlet on her head and draped in a shawl. Experts believe she was a queen who ruled over her territory when her king was away at war. It proved that women also held powerful positions in ancient times.
Yep, it's a woman.
And now let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows? We might even feature it in one of our videos. This image of a dragon found in an unknown location in Canada is similar to that of a hydra. Hydra was a legendary creature who had more than one head, and the maximum count was 7. The dragon was believed to reproduce only through his head. Another man in a nearby area also came across a strikingly similar carcass. This man heard strange voices in the woods close to his house one night. The next day, when he went to check, he saw something that made him believe in the existence of mythical creatures. There was a huge dragon. Even though it was not alive, it looked extremely terrifying. Its face was creepy with scary teeth, round horns, and large wings. The man was shocked and frightened, wondering how it could be here. However, even after a long search for the truth, he couldn't find anything.